This time, I would like to introduce a story about how a Chinese company has announced an AI called DeepSeek, which has sent shockwaves not only through US tech companies but also through the broader economic world. This story could potentially signify a major shift in the power struggle between the US and China. However, it's also important to consider what's happening in Japan in this context. So, first, I'd like to briefly touch on what is known as the digital deficit. Let's take a look at this. This is about the so-called digital deficit. Japan has been experiencing a significant digital deficit for about 10 years now. As of 2023, the figure has reached 5.5 trillion yen. This refers to, for example, platforms like YouTube and other social media services. Japanese people are quite fond of social media, aren't they? As a side note, why do Japanese people use social media so much? Well, Japan has a literacy rate of nearly 100%. For Japanese people, being able to read and write is a given. However, in some countries, there are many people who cannot read or write. For instance, on platforms like X, formerly Twitter, it's common for Japanese users to post frequently because everyone can read and write. This is said to be one of the factors. Getting back to the main topic, Japanese individuals use services provided by foreign companies quite a lot, and Japanese businesses also rely on foreign services for things like cloud-based customer management or financial management. As a result, a massive amount of money flows out of Japan to foreign companies every year. If this phenomenon were happening in a country with inferior technological capabilities, it might be understandable. However, considering Japan's technological prowess, it's reasonable to think that Japanese companies could technically create cloud services or social media platforms themselves. Yet, for some reason, this is the situation we're in. There are various reasons for this, but one factor is that the Japanese government, rather than supporting new technologies, has sometimes hindered them. A long time ago, there was an incident where the developer of Winnie was arrested. That event had a significant chilling effect on Japanese engineers. It created an environment where, if someone created a useful tool and it was misused, the developer could be arrested. This destroyed the atmosphere for people with technology and ideas to freely create and openly share new things. In contrast, in the US, new technologies attract a lot of investment, and when it comes to regulation, there seems to be an atmosphere of letting things develop freely. Because of this, Japan's digital deficit isn't necessarily due to inferior technology but is likely influenced by the government's approach. Additionally, in the world of social media, it's often a winner-takes-all situation. While Japan has been lagging, foreign companies have gained global market share, and everyone has started using their services. At this point, even if Japan introduces something new, the number of users it can attract is limited. In the social media world, American companies, and Chinese ones too, like TikTok, have become extremely dominant. This is also a matter of national strategy. Now, with new technology, namely AI, expected to see widespread adoption in the future, what is Japan's position? As AI becomes increasingly prevalent, establishing Japan's presence is crucial. Does the Ishiba administration have a groundbreaking strategy for this? This is an important issue that will determine whether Japan can remain a country that earns money globally in the future. With that preface, let's talk about what's currently drawing attention in the AI industry. Until now, when people thought of AI, it was ChatGPT. Before ChatGPT appeared, such services didn't generally exist. When ChatGPT first emerged, various issues were pointed out, but now it's considered an extremely useful tool. It's certain to be used across various fields going forward. In this area, the world leader has been American companies. Additionally, the chip industry, which is essential for AI development, still has significant growth potential. A representative example is Nvidia in the US, but in Japan too, sectors related to the chip industry have been driving the stock market. This might seem obvious, but Nvidia's chips used for AI development, especially the cutting-edge ones, are extremely expensive. However, since AI is expected to become increasingly important and have a wide range of applications, leading companies in this field can invest heavily and still expect to recoup their investments. That's why they're purchasing large quantities of Nvidia's expensive products, leading to significant profits for Nvidia. Now, what happened? A Chinese company announced DeepSeek. The company that developed it is somewhat mysterious in terms of its personnel and scale, but let's set that aside for now. Why is DeepSeek drawing attention? American companies like Microsoft, Google, and OpenAI have been developing AI by investing enormous amounts of money, billions of dollars over several years. However, DeepSeek reportedly developed AI of the same performance level in just 2 months and with less than $6 million. This is what's garnering attention. By the way, new technologies tend to be very expensive initially. For example, in the past, it was unthinkable for every household to have a computer. Early computers were far less powerful than today's but were extremely expensive. Generally, groundbreaking new products start off very costly. For instance, in the medical field, insulin for diabetes treatment was initially very expensive, but now, at least in Japan, it's rare for someone to be unable to use it due to cost. It has become much cheaper compared to the early days. When something new emerges, it's initially expensive, but research and development then focus on making it cheaper. So, even if something seems too expensive to spread now, it often becomes affordable after a few years. That's the direction research and development takes. For example, in the medical field, we're entering an era where treatments can cost millions of yen per session. It might seem like such expensive treatments are unsustainable or only accessible to a few, but once the technology is established, research shifts toward making it more efficient and affordable. So, just because something is expensive now doesn't mean it's meaningless. Returning to AI, the industry has been shaken by the unexpectedly rapid development of low-cost AI. This is a serious threat to companies like Google, OpenAI, and Microsoft, which have invested massive amounts of time and money. If AI of the same level can be developed at 1/100th of the cost, it raises the question of whether American companies can recoup their investments. This could lead to a decline in the stock prices of U.S. tech companies, which have been seen as leaders in AI. It's a significant issue. Another point is that the U.S. government has been regulating China's AI development, viewing it as problematic if China surpasses the U.S. amid this. NVIDIA's cutting-edge products, like the H100 GPU, are in high demand for AI development. However, these high-spec products cannot be exported to China. NVIDIA created a lower-spec H800 for the Chinese market, which DeepSeek reportedly used. Despite using lower-spec chips, DeepSeek's AI matches or even surpasses American AI in performance. This raises questions about the effectiveness of U.S. regulations. Currently, DeepSeek's technology is open source, which could lead global engineers to shift toward it. If it's much cheaper than alternatives like OpenAI, developers might move in that direction, potentially eroding the dominance of U.S. AI companies. This could become a political issue, possibly leading to decisions under the Trump administration to suppress DeepSeek. If left unchecked, risks include DeepSeek potentially becoming a paid service in the future or reflecting Chinese Communist Party influence, as some users have reported. Lastly, regarding Japan, this shift in the U.S. China AI race could leave Japan without a presence. Japan might end up paying for American or Chinese AI services, worsening the digital deficit. Japan needs to foster AI talent and create a supportive environment for research and development. This is crucial for Japan's future economic strength. That's all for this time. See you in the next video.